Fourth one, fourth important topics in Power Query. I'll just correct this. Okay, blank report. Oh, it was already a blank. Excel, Power Query, fourth one. Okay. All the tables I'm just picking up. Okay. And yes, I guess this one is also there. The last one, country transpose. I'll go for transform data. And what is it as in? I'll open there and explain by one. Let's see. Anyone knows about filling down like in Excel? If you try and drag this, it'll from wherever you're just dragging it, it'll just copy up, right? Do you know about this?
Yeah,
Yes,
Madhuri.
ma'am.
But here, if you see this column, if you let me see this 2000, that is 2500 odd values are pretty much over here. I can't be doing the dragging for each and every one. Na? It's going to take a hell lot of time for us. I'll be a single value within just 2 clicks, my job is done. But it's like an empty after every 10 rows. So how to do that? With Power Query, it becomes easy. Okay. What's the name of it? Fill down, na? And fill down. This one. Is the font visible now?
Yeah, Madhuri.
Yeah. As I was telling, the easiest way, how do you, I got to use the fill down option in Power Query. So in Transform tab, this option, fill option is there, no? I guess it's there in, no, it's not there over here. Add column, definitely not there. So only in one area, that's in Transform tab only, you have this option which is fill down and up. So my country column is already selected. So if I go for fill down, so as in like if I do individual dragging, just think of in Excel, if I do that individual dragging, the same thing I have been able to achieve with just one option, selecting one option, which is your fill down in Power Query. Okay, pretty good, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go to the next one. Now in here, yeah, you have pretty much the same data, but one city or sorry, one column is one something is extra. As in here, you have country, cities, and population. In group, you have one more extra column which is a score. So let's see how to, and what do you mean by group by? You just come across now. The name is group, right? Yeah. Yep. This one. Yeah. First, I'll do the fill down, obviously. My country column is very much selected. So fill down. That part is done. Now over here, if I see, as in for the first 10 rows or maybe first 20 rows, for India itself, I'm seeing 10 rows and your Pune 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 5 rows for Pune. Chennai has got 3, Bengaluru 1, Howrah 1, and so on. So around 4 of them are there, right? So for India, I've got 4 cities. And your city-wise population is also given. Now, if I want to have the debate as in why so many like Pune or Chennai is really repeating, we can just put it in have a small thing in mind. Okay, maybe different years census was taken and the population values has been provided to me. But I don't have the census, the year when the census was taken. I don't have that. So let me just assume that way. Okay. and it's a score, as in no specific reason as to what is the score, no idea, but then yes, related to your, maybe I'll say literacy score, or let me put it in that way. Okay. How am I supposed to group by? Group by is very much similar to the group by in our SQL also, okay? Or just come by, or just clubbing up similar columns or similar rows or records. That's basically your group by. So if I come over here, okay, I did select the group by. I have two options here, basic and advanced. Let's see the first one. I say here country, then I go in for what kind of group by. Okay, 10 rows are there for each country. So let me get the sum of population. I'll just put it as total population. Okay, that's the new column name. But what is it I want to do means obviously I have to, I want to find out the aggregation, which is sum, and I want to apply it on population. That's the first one we'll see. What it does is just it picks up each row. Like if I go back, if I pick up only India, it has just added up this. It has taken India and population. It has not considered other two because my group by I didn't consider those columns. Na? So it has just considered your, as in to say, it's summing up the value, your population based on country. So how many your, for India you have 10 rows. For other countries also around 10 to 15 rows are there for each and every country. So it's just clubbing up all the rows and finding out their total, like country wise total population. It's just doing that. That's what is a basic grouping that we can really apply. I need to remove this filters row. Otherwise, here in the group rows, I'll see only for India. So I'll just come here and delete that filtered rows. Now I'll get for all of them. Most basic group by that I can really apply. This option is there, but in true sense, if you ask me, you wouldn't need this unless and until I am being asked to say, specifically somebody really asked me to do the group by over here, then yes, maybe. But if you ask me, I can just very pretty well, I can do the same thing in Power BI and also. Okay, so group by over here, that's the most basic one. Can I move on? I'll show you one more. Advanced level is there now.
Definitely.
Okay. We remove this. Again, group by advanced. I can add two levels or like more than one level of grouping at the same time, one more level of like more than one level of aggregation also. I can do that. That's what is your advanced here. First is country, obviously. Second, I want to do based on cities. First column over here, obviously the total population, which I'll say sum of my population. Another one, I can find out the total score or maybe average score also we can try out. Average score, and here I'll select average and it will be your score. First, it will sort out by country. For India, we saw there are 10 rows. And then, but then by cities, if you see, Pune was repeating around 4 to 5 times, right? And Chennai was also 3 times, around 3 times I saw. The rest two only one time. So it has just grouped in that way. I like two levels. First you do the clubbing with respect to country, then you do the clubbing with respect to cities. So city-wise, I'll get to see the population, total population and average score. That's what I'm seeing here. For India, 4 rows. For Indonesia, I have got 6 rows because it should have got 6 cities over there. I didn't make a note of it, but then it should have 6 cities. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6. Okay, this is how you're going to do the group by. Okay, two levels of grouping I've shown you. I could apply only 2 levels here. Had we got maybe after cities, maybe some district level data is also given, I can apply one more. Okay. Can I move on?
Yeah, Maitri.
Okay. In here, transpose. Anybody having a knowledge of transpose?
Yeah, if it is in vertical, we can transpose to horizontal.
Okay, basically column to rows, right?
Column to rows or row to columns. Yeah.
Okay, ma, good. So I had, if you can see here, it will be going up till some 2000. Yeah, obviously we had so many rows. Now, till now, whatever you have seen here, like this fill down or your, what was that? Group one, this thing is in this is in vertical form you're seeing. Now, whatever you are seeing as in the country transpose, it's in horizontal format. That's the only thing. I need to convert it over here. And I have got the transpose option, and transpose option is available in transform only. You cannot have it as a add column. No point in doing that. So I'll just select, go ahead. I've got it. Just one promoted headers I need to do. So if we do that, we are good to go. Okay.
Selecting one column is fine, Maithili.
Doesn't matter which what you're really selecting. Okay. I didn't do that. If you had,
Okay.
that's what your doubt was there. Now I got it. I didn't do as it, and here also we don't have any like single column or multiple columns, just nothing like that. It's just this transpose this table, treating rows as columns and columns as rows. Swapping, basically swapping.
Okay.
So done with that. What was the next one? Yeah, unpivot. Um, See, if you know a knowledge of pivot table from Excel, good. Whatever you are going to see now looks pretty much like a pivot table structure only. But if at all you don't have, that's also not a big deal. Just think of it as a matrix wherein you have got few columns, few rows are pretty much given here. And at the combination of your row and column header, you're going to have some particular value. So here, as you can see here, 6 years data is given to me. And in those 6 years, I have got first 4 months. And for each of those 4 months, I have got some values given here. Good. Okay. If you are dealing with some pivot tables at Excellent, this is going to work out well because pivot table people do say, I mean, it's naming itself is it's a summarization tool in Excel. That's what is your pivot tables. But if I want to do any kind of analysis in Power BI with this kind of a structure, it is not going to be pretty much easy for me. If I had to do the like analysis, say suppose your year wise say for for year wise, if I want to do some kind of analysis, or your month wise, this structure is never going to help me out. I should be able to convert it to this kind of a format. As in here, if you see, your each row has got some each, I mean, one say 6 rows and your 4 columns, right? It will be like a value pair. Okay, let's not talk, I'll show you how to do better off. Many times action is better. Um, okay. In unpivot columns, you have got 3 options. But as in, I have my year column is selected now, na? So I'll go for not unpivot only selected. I want to unpivot this area. Okay, the 4 columns are there, na? I want to just do the unpivot structure. I want to do that. So I'll go it for unpivot other columns, or else if I want something like, I'll just go ahead for these 4 of the columns to be selected, and then I'll go for unpivot only selected columns. Either ways, it's going to work out. What I have done over here is earlier for a year, like every year, one row was there. If you see the previous one before unpivot has been applied, for each year, I've got one row, but 4 columns. Now, when I applied this unpivot option, I'll see that for each year, I'll get 4 rows because there are 4 months now. So for each year, you'll see 4 rows. And it will be like a attribute and value pair. This is all constant. Here, it's in the form of columns, right? 4 columns are there. Now the 4 columns will be converted into 4 rows. So this Jan and 93, one attribute and value, Feb and 15, one attribute value pair, your March and 32 for third attribute value pair, and April and 62, fourth attribute and value pair for your 2016. Likewise, like for 1 year, 4 columns, now it will be converted to 1 year, 4 rows. And if I get something like this, if in this structure, it will be much more easier for us to deal with when I load the data onto Power BI.
Yeah.